What's good? What's going on YouTube? Welcome to the video. Obviously, I presume you like the intro, which is why you're here. And if you are, thank you very much for popping by. I just want to start off by saying that the build is work in progress for a start. I'm only level 77, so obviously I'm not sort of up in at the end game yet. But from what I've played so far, it is absolutely destroying everything. Another thing you need to take into consideration is this is a beta. This build is subject to change, just like every build. GGG might nerf things, change the way some skill gems work. So if you are trying this build out yourself, just please take that into consideration. But apart from that, let's get into it. Right, so as you can see, we've just joined into a map. And the way it works is because we are using resonance, that is going to convert frenzy charges into chaos, into power charges. And then because we are using combat frenzy, that is going to give us frenzy charges every time we freeze an enemy, electrocute an enemy, or pin an enemy. Now, because we are freezing, and then on top of that we electrocute as well, we've got sort of two sources of constant frenzy charges, and then they get converted into power charges because of the way resonance works. That is how we are sustaining constant charges. So if you look by the footage, as you can see in front of you, I'm just literally going through a tier 4 map, I think it is, tier 3, tier 4 map, because like I said, I'm only just leveling. But as you can see, I've pretty much got my charge staff up all the time. And you can see I'm just going sort of from room to room, pack to pack. And obviously as I progress through the levels, that'll become sort of quicker. And obviously once I get better gear, that'll get quicker, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, very simple play style. No need for putting down, rituals or trying to palm strike enemies. You don't have to curse nobody. You don't need loads of like weird curse setups and stuff like that. You just literally just straightforward go in, hit a few monsters. As soon as you get that charge, put out your charge rifle. And then that's that. And as you can see, that was in essence nice and quick. No problem. Easy peasy. Okay, so get into the gear. First of all, my character has 1800 life. So, not the worst, but also not the best. Very little energy shield, which we are going to work on when we improve our gear. And I've got 81 evasion, which is huge for this build, because the old saying, you can't kill what you can't hit. And obviously the more evasive you are, the better. Now I've got 81 evasion, and I've literally got a piece of armor that's only got 545 evasion on it. So obviously not very good evasion at all. This is basic gear that I've used to get through the campaign. And as you can see, I've got a helmet which I've just managed to craft, but I've got a helmet that's got just as much evasion on it as my armor. So obviously a lot of improvements still to come, and we're on 81 evasion. So just bear that in mind. Evasion is, key. Right, so passives. So obviously I've done my 3rd lab now at level 77. And obviously we've got, I've went for elemental expression. It's a pretty good skill. I like it. It looks flashy, as you've seen in the footage. Lots of like sort of projectile type of things coming out and explosions going off. So very, very nice. And I've gone for crits ignore enemies resistances. And then up the top I've gone for lead me through grace, sorry. And that's because obviously the more evasion we have, the more spirit we get. The more evasion on the armor we get, the more spirit we get, and then that allows us to put on more auras. Still to put in the build, I've got stuff like clarity just to help with a bit of mana, manage with a little bit of mana, managing vitality just to give us a little bit of life regeneration. I'm probably going to put in something else. I'll be putting all sorts in, whatever I can fit in. It's going to get fitted in. So we've took mindful awareness, and then obviously just sort of came up in the skill tree. Took essence of storm just for a bit of shock. Obviously crit chance, elemental sort of damage there. We are going to go along when I get more points, and we're going to get more elemental damage. Then also freeze build up, shock build up, freeze build up mainly because obviously that freeze is our sort of main key for the build. And then that's going to help obviously on bosses as well, because the quicker you can freeze a boss, the quicker you get charges. Yes, that's right, you get charges in the boss fights as well. And then obviously 15% increased damage for each elemental type, or we might even go inside. No, but I don't think we'd need exposure, to be fair, because we're ignoring resistances anyways. Right, so I've got obviously attack speed, resonance, like I mentioned, which synergizes with combat ready, killer instinct tenfold, and I've gone for blinding strikes. Gone for proficiency for a nice fat piece of dexterity, enhanced reflexes, and then this one is probably one of the keyest ones about, because obviously it's 100% increased evasion from equipped body armor. Now, my body armor is only 545, and it's now 1090, which obviously will help with spirit. So if you get because of this node, that passive, or that node, because it increases the body armor evasion on the body armor, that means it's going to increase our spirit as well, which means that we're going to be able to put more stuff in. So if you get a nice 2000 basic evasion piece of armor, and then you get this, you're going to get 2000. So then it's going to increase it even more, so then you can fit lots of stuff in. I've also gone down here for Coming Calamity, and then obviously Herald Reservation. This is just until I get a better armor. Then I'm probably going to take these points back at the side for the reservation, because we won't need them. And then I'm going to put in, obviously we're going to go for crit. We're going to be a crit build. I'm going for crit there. I'm going to go for some crit, probably up here somewhere, up there. Probably go for that crit there, just for increased chance. Probably go for that crit there as well. And basically that's the build. It's just super basic. It's just hit quick, hit hard, hit fast. There's some crit there that I might take. I've got at least 20 with a 70, 80, 90. Yeah, we've got like at least 20 points there, so 96, 97-ish. Right, so now for the skills. So what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the skills. So obviously we've got that elemental expression. I still need to play around with that a little bit, just to sort of see what we can fit in with it and what can be done with it. Herald of Ice. Now, shocks from supported skills, I could put that in there maybe, because it says shocks from supported skills do not expire on ignited enemies, and because we're using Herald of Ash, basically enemies we kill explode, and then the ignite spreads to other enemies around it. So if the ignites are spreading to other enemies around it, and we're hitting elemental expression, we're using elemental expression, we get lightning damage that goes out and it chains 7 times. So then obviously if the lightning damage shocks, which we've got high chance of shock, then that means that the shock effect isn't going to be removed because we'll have ignited enemies as well. So you've got this kind of constant overwhelming of ailments, basically on packs of monsters, on bosses especially. So then we've got, like I said, we've got Herald of Ice, we've got Herald of Thunder. In Herald of Thunder, I've stuck in chance to blind enemies, and then just attacks have 35% increased lightning damage for 3 seconds on killing a shocked enemy. That's because obviously Herald of Thunder procs when we killed a shocked enemy with attack damage. So then lightning's released and it goes to the surrounding enemies. So then, yeah, you know what I mean? Nice, comfy sort of clear. I've gone for Charge Staff on Charge Staff. Obviously, that does lightning damage as well. So because that does lightning damage and then subsequently adds lightning damage to pretty much all our attacks because it charges up the staff. So where our main staff is going to be Ice Strike, and then basically the Charge Staff is going to add lightning onto the Ice Strike, and because it's charged up, and then because of that I've put on Persistence for obviously longer duration, Electrocute, because then that means that all our attacks are going to electrocute, and obviously because this is putting lightning damage into pretty much everything, then it's going to be everything electrocutes or has a chance to electrocute, and then obviously a glaciation. I don't know how to say that word. We've got increased freeze build up. So basically, as soon as we charge up, we're hitting enemies, we're freezing them, we're electrocuting them, we're getting a power charge straight back. As you've seen by the footage, there's no need to throw things on the floor. You don't really have much downtime. As long as you're keeping your eye on your timer, so you know that when to use your power charge, so you know when to just click when you've got your orbs around you. But honestly, you've just got this constant sort of like conveyor belt of power charges coming in. It's absolutely amazing. Right. On top of this, we've got we're going to use the bell, and this is I mainly use this for if there's like heavy monsters, heavy rares, if there is any bosses. Most of the time, you can just clear everything as you're going, and you've got like this sort of like nice sort of like free-flowing kung fu style. One pack of monsters destroyed, next pack of monsters destroyed. Flicker strike into getting to the next pack of monsters. Start attacking them again. Get your charges up. Use it again. You've got this really nice sort of flowy type of way of killing the monsters. As long as you can keep it up, and it takes a bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, it flows pretty well. But with the bell, that is for, like I said, bosses. Heavy duty monsters. If there's maybe there's a heavy pack of monsters and you want to get like as much AoE as possible. So because of that, I've added increased stun build up. Again, this is for a boss. And then obviously magnitude of shocks, because all ailments that hit the bell multiply the damage. And then because they're multiplying the damage, if we're hitting that bell with electrocute and freeze build up, basically from this skill here, that means we're going to get that, and then on top of that, you're going to get shocks from the overcharged. You're going to get increased chance of shock from conductivity, because obviously shock is key, and we want shock on the enemies as much as possible, and then rage as well. Now the reason I picked rage, and again this is a shout out to Spud the Hill, is because I didn't think of this, and he said basically because you got rage, if you're getting rage from attacks, because obviously we do attack, if you're getting rage by hitting the bell and it's building up rage for us, what'll happen is you'll hit the bell, it'll get rage for you. That means you attack quicker, which means you're hitting the bell quicker, which means that you're then attacking the boss quicker. And if you use Flicker Strike, you ricochet basically from the boss to the bell super quick. So then it just gets like super fast, mega fast. You got this rage, and you get this sort of like overabundant speed boost when you're fighting bosses in arenas, which I think is pretty cool. I've used Wind Dance just for helping with like sort of defenses kind of, and this is because obviously we get 18% more evasion rating per stage. We can have a maximum of 3 stages. I'm going to fiddle around with this to see if we can maybe get more stages, or if we can, you know, put something else in there which will sort of like buff it up a little bit to make it a bit more, even more useful. But again, I'm going to look into that. And then we got down to our main charge. Now our main charge is basically Ice Strike, and then we've got Concentrated Effect because we want obviously more area damage, more area damage but less effect. This is just so that we are getting our freezes on the enemies straight away as we're attacking, and also martial tempo for increased attack speed, and then also increased elemental damage. And like you've seen from the footage, this has got sort of like a flicker strike feel to it, kind of. So when you're attacking, it kind of lunges at enemies. So you'll go from one monster to the next monster in the same pack, but you'll kind of like do a little lunge forward with it as well, which obviously looks amazing. But as it's doing the lunge, it's kind of like attack, lunge. You've lunged to the next pack, or another monster that's close to the next pack. You've got your power charges up, and then boom, you tap Flicker Strike. Now, Flicker Strike, obviously, as you all know, just sort of makes it look super quick, super flashy. You get to dart across the screen super fast. Because it uses your charges up, and we currently have 6 charges with the build. Obviously, you want to try and keep them as much as possible. So, Flicker Strike itself, if you use advanced information. If you use Gem Cutter's Prisms, Flicker Strike will give you an extra 20% chance to not use a power charge when you prop it. And then if you couple that with perpetual charges, it means that you've got a 55% chance not to use charges. So then you use 6 charges, you dart through a pack of monsters, and when you come out the other side, you've still got all them charges, or you've still got some charges. So you can either go again straight away, or recharge up your quarterstaff, and then start battling away, get more power charges, Flicker Strike again. So the playstyle is totally up to yourself. But that's how I've been playing it, that's how I like it. And I've also put momentum in. So after moving at least 2 meters during a single use of the skill, the rest of the skill deals 40% more damage. Now, obviously, as you can see, it's only a 4 link. The last 2 links, I'm probably going to put Hefty in, and the other one, I can't remember what the other one is for, increased fizz damage. Not Brutality, the other one. And this is just because the entire build is built upon converting physical and converting attack damage. So obviously, the more attack damage and the more physical sort of we can get into the build, the better. Now, I've really enjoyed this build. And like you've seen in the sort of the preview, it is fast. It's pretty good. It's one of the faster builds I've seen for PoE. Obviously, I know there is quite a few with the fast bow builds, but as far as melee builds go, this is like one of the fastest, if not the fastest, that I've seen so far. So like I said, I just thought I'd make this video quickly, put it out there, just because obviously I've seen a lot of people, you know, saying, oh, you need to use, you know, maybe Sniper's Mark to get your charges, or use this Palm Strike or Killing Palm, sorry, to get charges here, or you can get charges there. This is literally just attack, collect. Well, you don't even collect, you just attack and you auto collect, and then that's you, and then you just away with it, and you just pack to monsters. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Like I said, the build's still a work in progress. If you did enjoy the video, please please leave a thumbs up. If you're thinking about trying this build, sorry, leave a comment on the video. I'm obviously new to making these types of videos, so obviously I'm a bit all over the place. But hopefully you've enjoyed it and understood it. And yeah, maybe I'll make more in the future. I'll definitely do an update for this build once we get better gear, to see how far we can push it. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it. I stream live on Twitch, over on Twitch, Warhawk Official, if you want to pop in and pop the stream. But if not, enjoy your days. Hopefully you find some nice stuff and good hunting out there, Exiles. Peace.